Hey, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Just wanted to take a new class up, the Archer, so I can start grinding on it. Greetings, adventurer, and welcome to the Archer's Guild. It is here that archers the realm over gather to master the bow. We engage the enemy from a distance, ever seeking to alter the course of battle with a single, well-placed arrow. If you have a mind to become an archer, then you have come to the right place. Do you wish to join our ranks? Yes? Marvelous. Then allow me to enlighten you on the history of both our art and the guild. The bow is an ancient tool that has existed since before our fair nation came into being. As an implement of war and hunting both, it protects us from our enemies, even as it keeps us fed and clothed. Archery, as practiced in Gridania, was born of two distinct styles of bowmanship. The first was devised by the longbow sentries of the Elysian, who once ruled the lowlands, while the second belonged to the shortbow hunters of a formerly nomadic Mikote. As you will doubtless be aware, both races ultimately came to call the Twelveswood home. Though the two people began as rivals, they gradually learned to live together in harmony. During this time, they learned from one another, their two schools of archery intermingling to give birth to the art that is known today. But this wouldn't have been possible were it not for the Trappers League. The guild was established in order to promote sustainable hunting and cooperation within the hunting fraternity at large. As a happy consequence of this union, the guild members came to engage in friendly contests of skill. Inspired by such competitions, a handful of their number began to focus on perfection as opposed to merely practicality, transforming a skill into what may be termed an art. These individuals would go on to form a guild of their own. The Archers Guild, where men and women gather to attain mastery over the bow. Now, more than a few members of the God's Quivers lose their first arrow within these very halls. And that, my friend, is a brief history of archery in Gridania. Doubtless you are more eager than ever to take up the bow. It would be my pleasure to recommend you to our guild master. You must receive his permission if you are to join us. If you would excuse me a moment, I shall see to it that the relevant lists are amended. Pray speak to me again in a short while. Are you done yet? So, are you resolved to join the Archers Guild? And when I get the weathered shortbow. The look in your eyes bespeaks your determination. It would be my pleasure to refer you to Guildmaster Lucian. Lest you worried unduly, Lucian is an affable and kind-hearted woman. Even those not of the guild have been known to seek her counsel on various matters, and ever have they been given fair hearing. Lucian awaits you in the training area yonder. Present yourself before her and impress upon her your desire to join the guild. Oh yeah, I know what I forgot. Music. Greetings, adventurer. I am told you wish to join our ranks. I am Lucian, the master of the Archers Guild, and I bid you welcome. Our doors are open to all who have a will to learn. Allow me to explain the basics of our art and offer you a foretaste of that which we teach the members of our guild. The bow's greatest advantage is its range. Unlike those arms used in other disciplines of war, it allows one to strike the enemy from afar. Though the bow may not boast the destructive force of a sword or a spear, its myriad strategic applications more than compensate for this shortcoming. An experienced archer can immobilize an enemy by striking a leg or sap its strength with a poisoned arrow. Rise to become a virtuoso of archery, and a veritable deluge of death will be yours to rain down upon your enemy. By fighting from a distance, we can better access the battlefield and thereby determine the most advantageous course of action. This is of paramount import as our role in battle is to exploit the enemy's weakness. With the requisite placement and timing, but a single arrow may serve to turn the tide. To this end, the guild seeks to instill a discerning eye within its members, that they might learn to strike at vulnerabilities swiftly and surely. And now, any half-wit can bend the bow, but it's not so simple undertaking to become a skilled archer. You must be prepared for a long, arduous journey. Are you resolved to complete the journey? I will. That is well. From this moment forth, you may consider yourself one of our number. Now lend me your hunting log if you would. I shall add to it the names of such creatures that would provide fitting challenges for an archer, and to help you on your long, I will bestow upon you this short bow. Arm yourself with your new weapon and then speak to me again. I would have you undertake a trial to gauge your fitness to join the guild. A weathered shortbow. Yes, inventory. There it is. Yeah, I don't have clothes yet. Do take care of it in a moment. Ah yes, the bow becomes you, Serenia. Now, before proceeding any further, I must needs gauge your innate aptitude for archery. To this, I hereby assign you the following trial. Slay the squirrels, ladybugs and fungus that roam just beyond the city gates. 3 of each to suffice. Doing so, you will prove your fitness to join the Archers Guild. It goes without saying that you must do so using your bow. Report back to me when the task is accomplished. Now go and earn your place within these halls. Okay, yeah. Now I prepare some equipment for myself through crafting, most like, and then, yeah, I go fulfill the quest, grind a little, do not be surprised when I return here with level 20 or something like that, yeah. Okay, I'm back, and as announced, not quite level 30, but almost. So, let's do this quest. I wholly suspect I reach level 30 as we go to the class questline. Welcome back, Serenia. It would seem you have successfully completed the trial of, slaying a bunch of critters. You've proven yourself worthy of a place within these halls. It is with pleasure that I name you an Archer of a Guild. As fellow of a path, let us together strive for greater mastery of our art. Now, though you may be a member of the Archers Guild, know that your seniors will not coddle you with personal attention. It is up to you to seek out the experiences you need to grow as an archer. By way of first step, I encourage you to practice proper technique. Lose arrow after arrow, pay close attention to form until the movement becomes second nature. When drawing your bowstring has become as natural to you as drawing breath, and the world seems clearer when viewed down from the shaft of an arrow, return to me. Go well, my young apprentice. Level 5, yeah, I'm well past level 5, so let's just continue here. Good morrow to you, Serenia. I felt it was about time you returned. Have you grown more accustomed to the bow? Much more. Before you go any further, I wish to ensure you have grasped the fundamental essence of archery. Tell me, do you understand what it means to see clearly? To see clearly is not merely to look, it's to observe with intent. Fail to do this and no amount of talent with a bow will avail you. An archer must remain vigilant for any trace of his target, overlooking not the smallest detail lest it prove crucial to the realization of his purpose. He must, in short, see clearly. The coming task will test your powers of observation. A number of targets have been hidden throughout the city, and would have you seek out and destroy them. Each will fall easily to your heavy shot technique. When you've completed the task, return to me and we will continue. Yay, quest markers. Otherwise, I would think this is annoying. And more, maybe? Okay, let's return to the guild. Ah, you have returned. I trust you have begun to comprehend the crucial importance of seeing clearly. The next trial will test your powers of observation in battle. Travel to the North Shore and there put down 8 microshoes and 8 oppo-oppos. In contrast to the inanimate and wholly unthreatening targets of the previous trial, these creatures may be relied upon to move around and fight back. Nor are those the only differences. Being comparatively numerous, microshoes and oppo-oppos are anything but difficult to find, and yet you may be assured that this task will test your powers of observation, albeit in a different manner. This time you need to evaluate the abilities of your opponent. In doing so, you will learn, among other things, that microshoes produce a poison that can quickly sap one's strength, while oppo-oppos, like Archer, possess the advantage of range. Knowing their strengths, how will you go about mitigating them? If you commence your attack before identifying the effective strategy, you will soon be made to regret your folly. But if you take your time to observe your targets from afar, you will surely glean the knowledge necessary to defeat them. I look forward to hearing of your success, Serenium. Well, I'm far higher level than those, so I just cut you out. This is pointless. Okay, I'm back. Welcome back, young Serenia. Tell me, were you able to put your techniques to good use? When faced with an enemy who can attack from a distance, simply raining arrows upon it is wasteful and dangerous both. The battle would be not more than a contest of strength. By employing the appropriate technique, however, one may bring down one's foe with greater ease and fewer arrows. For instance, you may choose to prime your weapon well and strike hard, or employ toxins to sap their strength over time. On the assumption that this fact dawned upon you prior to the fall of your 16th target, I congratulate you on passing the trial. Lay? Sever? What is your honest evaluation? Not bad if you ask me. The adventurer pulls a good bow and is enthusiastic besides. A pleasure to meet you. My name is Lay Aliepo, and this is my 2nd year in the guild. It's quite plain that you have talent with a bow, but you must take care to mind your surroundings when you're pursuing a target. I had my eye on you for the duration of your trial, but not once did you notice my presence. Mind your surroundings. That's witch coming from you. Your every movement is a wasteful adventurer. Your back is crooked, your elbows misaligned. It takes you an age to prime your bow and twice as long to loose an arrow. In summary, you fail on all accounts. You have no talent as an archer. None whatsoever. I shall say plain, Lucian. This woman is not fit to wield a bow. For our sake and hers, we should revoke her membership. As I've always said, outsiders can scarce be expected to understand. Never mind master our noble art. We waste our breath trying to teach her like. Well, allow me to introduce you to Sever, our comrade at the butts. The fellow was once of a godscriver, you see, and he can be a little opinionated when it comes to archery. Oh, but you mustn't pay him any heed. He's like that to everyone. You'd be lucky to get much sense out of a fossil-brained wildwood Ellison like him at the best of times. With them, it's always 12-foot this, elemental sweat, and no, no offense intended, Lucian. None taken, Lay. I know full well that some of my kind can be prideful to excess and intolerant of other races. Other people may behold the same object, ever will they see different things. There's no right or wrong to it, and it's a question of perspective. What matters is the perspective we choose to adapt. You're possessed of bright eyes, Serenia. Eyes that bespeak great understanding. They shan't lead you astray, so trust to them and to what they see. Go now and resume your training. I look forward to marking your progress when next we meet. That guy was not very nice. But okay, it happens. It pleases me to see how you've grown as an archer. Plainly you've taken my counsel to heart and learned to see with your own eyes. I would now have you discover what it means to behold things from a different standpoint. You will recall Lay Aliepo, your senior at the guild? I've given you over to her care for this lesson. Speak to her and do as she bids. Say, Lay, are you perhaps related to Chloe Aliepo? I've been expecting you, Serenia. Shall we get on with it then? First, a quick review. Remember how the bowmaster had you seek out and destroy targets hidden throughout the city? Well, I would have you do the same. This time, however, you will need to venture outside the gates. I'm sure you've realized this by now, but there's no guarantee of safety within the 12th foot. As you search, you should take care to mind your surroundings. You won't have the luxury of focusing solely on your quarry this time. You have to keep your eyes peeled for potential threats as well. That said, your object is to destroy the targets alone, so avoid unnecessary combat and maintain a safe distance from any hostile creatures you encounter. Should you come under attack, take to your heel, risking direct confrontation only if you can't outrun your pursuers. The targets are hidden in the central shroud. As before, use the heavy shot technique to destroy each one with a single arrow. Go well. I follow instructions and only shoot the things that don't move. There. And these two, right? Or are there more than enough here? Seems that way. Yeah, there are more than I need. That's nice. Okay, back to town. No, that's cool because that makes the job a lot easier. Well, you made short work of those targets, I must say. It seems you've learned to seek your prey without being preyed upon. Let's continue, and I have a mind to give you more practical experience. And we've received a request just recently, which I think will provide the perfect opportunity. It seems tree slugs and vultures have been congregating in ever-increasing numbers in the vicinity of Hornyard. Causing no end of trouble for the locals. We've been tasked with culling the beasts. This request comes directly from Stillglade Fane, When the Wood Whalers and the Godscriver cannot spare the forces to attend to such matters, the conjurers often turn to us for help. And before you ask, there's a good reason why they would rather not see to this particular task themselves. The creatures in question possess abilities which can cause problems for the magically inclined. But that's quite enough about conjurers' troubles. Lucienne taught you how to discern an enemy's key traits, did she not? Well, now you need to do so while maintaining situational awareness, lest you be overwhelmed. Consider this a comprehensive review of her lessons and mine own. Your orders are as follows. Head out into the East Shroud and there put down 8 tree slugs and 8 vultures, using all the skills you've acquired thus far. Good hunting! Seriously? Another 8-8? Judging by your smug expression, I'd say you've acquired a feel for maneuvering to exploit enemy weaknesses while covering your own. Vultures are wont to keep their opponent at wing's length and their attacks will send you flying. The solution to this is simple. Maneuver to the rear. Tree slugs on the other hand have an annoying knack for disrupting spellcasting with their secretions. As such, you would do well to keep the creatures away from any mages in your party. Needless to say, good positioning is the key to success in battle, which is why it is absolutely essential that you know your target's traits. The knowing of these traits is a fundamental part of hunting. Before the Keepers of the Moon conceived of archery, they dwelt not in the city but the forest. For my people, hunting was a way of life. In hindsight, I suppose this is more a lesson on hunting than on archery. Still, Luciani knows well my past. Mayhap that was her intent. Hunting too was an art. Before I came to Gridania, I never gave it much thought, but the more I think of home, the more I begin to realize... forgive me, I'm not given to fits of sentiment. Truly, forget I said anything. But do not forget that a hunter must recognize her prey's weakness and strike swiftly when the opportunity presents itself. That concludes the lesson. Now I suggest you pay Luciana a visit. She is doubtless eager to hear from you. It is good to see you, Serenia. I hope you learned much from Lay. You adventurer, is it true? Are you the one who slew the tree slugs and vultures? Yes. How dare she entrust the security of our people to the hands of a stranger? I knew Mikoto were reckless, but she's downright irresponsible. Shame on her. Did I not warn you that this was folly to suffer that woman's presence in our guild, Lucian? Every time she wastes an arrow on game, she drags our noble art back into the darkness. Aye, and this girl too, she's an embarrassment to us all. That's quite enough, Sylvain. Your skill with a bow is undeniable, as is your love for our nation, yet there's much and more you have yet to learn about archery. Serenia has matured greatly in a short time she has been with us. You know this to be true. I suggest you come to terms with Serenia's presence here. You will be giving her her next lesson after all. Unless, of course, you have any objections. Good. As for you, Serenia, I would have you devote yourself wholly to training ahead of your lesson with Sever. Suffice it to say, he will not be an easy instructor to impress. On that we can agree. Okay. Repelling shot. Welcome back, Serenia. I trust you've been keeping your nose to the grindstone? Not literally, but I get your meaning, yes. As I mentioned when last we spoke, you will train under Silver's tutelage today. Put aside your misgivings and avail yourself of his wealth of experience. Go now. Present yourself before him. I hope this gets a bit more interesting than slay another 8 of these and these. Please? I see it was too much to hope for you to not to return. The others believe that you have potential, but I'm not so easily convinced. Like so many adventurers, you have not the faintest inkling of what it means to be an archer. And how could you? Archery is a proud tradition of the Wildwood Elysian. The essence of this art, to read one's enemy, has been instilled in us over centuries. In that time we have defended this great nation against every imaginable foe, granting us insight which you will never possess. Can you recognize the subtle signs of betrayal and coming action? No. Can you accurately predict an opponent's movement? No. Can you glean your foe's intentions at a glance? No. And can such things be learned by one who knows nothing of our traditions? No. If it is only out of respect for Lucian that I have agreed to teach you. Go to the eastward and seek out the targets hidden there. But do not presume this will be as easy as before. As I told you, the ability to read one's enemies is fundamental to archery. Yet the trial set by my colleagues did not require you to do this. Mine will. The targets you seek have been hidden, and I do mean hidden, in the midst of a region rife with savage beasts. They will play the part of your enemies. In the unlikely event that you spy a target, your limited range will necessitate that you slip past its bestial guardians prior to taking aim, a feat I consider beyond you. Was that a frown? Maybe you're thinking that the Mikota set you a similar task? You're wrong. She merely asked you consider where your foes are. I demand that you discern precisely where they will be. How then will you go about this? Observe them closely and discern their characteristics. Learn to read their movements and recognize pattern in their behavior. If it has eyes, let it not see you. If it has ears, let it not hear you. Be neither where it is nor where it means to be, and thereby pass unnoticed. But enough talk. Whether or not you heed my counsel is your decision. I will shed no tears should you fall. Should you fail, sorry. Fall was a bit harder, I guess. So far, so pointless. I mean, thanks to my high level, I don't pull aggro from these beasts that are level 12, 13 there. So, where was he? Up here. So, what's the real quest? So, you have returned a passable for performance for an adventurer, but the bare minimum for any archer. I carry with me generations of Wildwood traditions, a tradition built upon the bones of the many outsiders who try to take what is ours. It was my ancestors who first learned to conceal their presence and fight from the shadows, to hold the enemy at distance, to protect the weak. All of it, everything was... This is a waste of time, you cannot understand. But if you are so intent upon following in the footsteps of my people, I bid you go to the North Shore. XIV scouts have been sighted near the river, west of Iterskaya, and unless you are entirely ignorant of Gardanian history, I need not explain this active tradition is part of a centuries-old conflict. The minions do not matter. It is their leader, Nezul Catalan, the Violator, who must fall. He commands the scouts and will be well guarded, yet he stands upon hostile ground with birdmen and not walls for protection. If you are diligent and determined, you can slip through their defenses and slay their leader. This is the art of a Gudanian archer. Embrace the wisdom I bestowed upon you, and the fight will be short. If you see the deed done, adventurer, I will take it as proof of your commitment to us, and labor no more to drive you from the guild. Now go. Okay. Well, at least it's not another kill 8, kill 8. Ah, interesting. We enter an instance, that means level sync. So this might actually be interesting. Good. Good. I like that. So where is... kill only what you must on your way to the target. Okay, we get help from this random lancer here. So, wear the leader's magic. Maintain a safe distance. Done. Okay. I saw no magic. Did anyone see magic? Okay, so there... where are we? Oh, up here, hatch tree. So there. Even now I struggle to credit the sentry's reports. Yet here you are, and Nezu Catalan the Violator is no more. But the goddamned adventurer should be so... Only by the grace of Nymea herself could you have survived. But even though it was pure luck, I will keep my word. Serenia, should you stay or should you go? I cannot. You have completed the task and are no longer my responsibility. Go now to Lucienne. She will doubtless wish to lavish you with praise. Oh, you'll get no more from me. Off with you. I'm given to understand that you single-handedly drove off an XIV scouting party and that you did so with precision and guile. How exactly was that training, Lucienne? Serenia's just an adventurer, Sylvain thrust her into the jaws of the enemy in the hope that she wouldn't come back. And when against all expectation she did come back, that stubborn ass still refuses to acknowledge her skill. Is that truly your impression? Well, yes, he said it was pure luck. Mere noise. Sylvain sees Serenia's skill, of that I have no doubt. Did you not mark the way he covered his mouth when he uttered the words? It was a habit of his to do so on occasions when his tongue and his heart are in disagreement. For all his skill at reading the idiosyncrasies of others, he is yet to recognize his own. Impressive work, Serenia. You've applied yourself to lay in Severe's lessons and demonstrated your command of core concepts. You're now an archer in your own right. Allow me to teach you something to commemorate this accomplishment. Repelling shot is an advanced technique that enables an archer to evade attacks while continuing to fire upon the opponent. Used wisely, it can grant you a brief respite from in the heat of battle. I have faith that with regular practice you will learn how best to employ it to your advantage. Remember your senior's lesson as you strive for true mastery.